Hi, I'm Steve Scott, founder of Neumi. 17 years ago, something happened to me that changed my life and changed the whole course of my life. Now, I had a pretty good life before that. I was making millions of dollars a year for year in, year out. I had started a little company with a partner that was, we started with $5,000 and we were doing millions and then hundreds of millions of dollars in sales a year. By the time I retired, we had done billions of dollars in sales. And in 2006, I meet this medical scientist from the Mayo Clinic, and he introduces me to a word that he said was going to change my life. It's a molecule called glutathione. Most important molecule in life. It's just as important as oxygen. Without glutathione, there'd be no life on Earth. And yet I had never heard of it. Chances are you may have never heard of it. And most doctors that I speak to, I have the joy of presenting to thousands of doctors a year usually, and most of them haven't heard of it, or they just know a little teeny tiny bit about it. Well, glutathione is the most studied molecule in medical science. Okay, now why don't doctors know that much about it? Because they're not scientists. But ask any microbiologist, any biochemist, any medicinal scientist, ask them, what do you know about glutathione? They will talk your ear off. Why? Because it performs over 400 functions in your body. There's no life on Earth without it. No plants, no trees, no people, no animals, no birds, no fish, nothing. We become a brown planet without glutathione. It's that critical. And yet, I had never heard of it, and you may have never heard of it either. Well, do you know, he was right. I ended up leaving a career where I was making millions of dollars a year, the most fun work a man could ever do, and I left it all for a job that paid me zero, nothing. Why? Because I realized that that molecule could change life on Earth. It could change human performance. It could change recovery from injuries, from accidents. It could change recovery from athletic performance. You name it. This was everything that scientists said it was. The more I studied, the more I fell in love with it. In fact, I invested millions of my own dollars into it. And the problem is, everybody needs glutathione. You see, glutathione is made by every cell in our body. And it's our #1 defense mechanism. It's the first line of defense for your heart cells, your liver cells, your brain cells, for everything. And unfortunately, it starts declining around the age of 20. It declines at the rate of between 8 and 15% per decade. I'm 76 now, so at 76, I have 60-some% less glutathione today than I had at the age of 20. But my need for glutathione never goes down. We need it every moment of the day, every moment, every fraction of a second. It's that vital. In fact, let's talk about a couple things it does. Without glutathione, there's no oxygen transfer. Why? Well, when your body makes hemoglobin, that beautiful red molecule, one of the purposes, the primary purpose, is to bind to oxygen molecules and deliver oxygen throughout the whole body to all 37 trillion cells. Unfortunately, it has the wrong charge on it, so it's like trying to bring north poles of magnets together. You know, remember that from your childhood? You think, okay, this time I'm going to get it. Can't do it. Well, you can't bind hemoglobin in its natural state to oxygen. It has to be reduced to what's called a +2. And when that reduction takes place, it instantly binds to oxygen and it delivers that life-giving oxygen to every cell in our body. Now that is 1 out of 400 functions that glutathione does. You know, Dr. Oz, Harvard heart surgeon, he had his own medical television show for years, and he made the statement, he began one of his shows. He had as his guest that day Dr. David Katz from Yale University. He was their head of disease prevention. And the theme of the show was, quote, here's how he opened the show, glutathione. It's the most important antioxidant you've never heard of. It's what protects you from the diseases you fear the most, end quote. Now that was Dr. Oz. Well, he was right. You see, as glutathione levels decline, guess what else happens? The aging process begins. How do we judge aging? By the decline of 12 biomarkers. And those 12 biomarkers start declining at the age of 20 at the same time that glutathione starts declining. And when glutathione goes down, it opens the gateway to almost every major disease. And that gateway is opening as you age, as glutathione is going down, 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 down. And we know why. Now, we've just talked about one function, and that's with oxygen. What else does it do? Well, we learned during the pandemic how important the immune system is. People with real robust immune response, where T cells could reproduce rapidly, they did fine. Yes, they got sick. They may have even been hospitalized. I was. But they didn't die. Why? Because they had enough glutathione to supercharge their immune system. Not my product. I'm talking about glutathione that the body makes. And as a result of that, the T cells, the assassins of the immune system, could attack those virus cells. And guess who won? The T cells. Now, if you have low glutathione levels, guess what happens? Your T cells begin to reproduce slowly, while the bacteria or virus is reproducing rapidly. Well, what does glutathione have to do with the immune system? It is the sole protector of the T cell and the B cell, the two assassins that the immune system uses to kill bacteria and virus. That's a second function of glutathione. Now that's 2 out of 400. Are you getting the picture? Glutathione is the sole protector of the mitochondrial DNA. Now why is that important? According to Dr. Dean Jones of Emory University, tremendous microbiologist, well published, he said to a cancer symposium, he said that 95% of all cancers gain traction in the human body when the mitochondrial DNA is broken. Why? When it's broken, the cell can mutate and multiply. Glutathione is the sole protector of the mitochondrial DNA. How does it do that? Well, you see what breaks the mitochondrial DNA, according to Dr. Jones, is the chemical load in the cell. Everybody watching this video has at least 200 industrial chemicals in your body, according to the CDC and National Institutes of Health, that does not belong there. And glutathione is the detoxifier of the cell. It has this sticky sulfhydryl molecule that sticks to the chemical and then escorts it out of the cell. So Dr. Jones said if we can raise glutathione levels, we can lower the chemical load in the cell and preserve the integrity of the mitochondrial DNA for a longer period of time. Glutathione comes to the rescue again. But what glutathione is best known for is its antioxidant value. It is called your master antioxidant. Every cell in your body is attacked by 10 to 20,000 free radicals a day. Now think about that. Imagine if you're at a football field and somebody announces, hey, the first 20,000 people that can hit you get $1 million check. Well, 20,000, the whole stands would end up going after you. Well, that happens to your cells every single day. 10 to 20,000 times a day it's attacked by free radical. What's a free radical? Free radical is a scavenger. It steals an electron from the cell. And when it does that, it creates a reaction called reactive oxygen species, which creates oxidative stress. Now, oxidative stress is our mortal enemy for two major reasons. Number one, oxidative stress, which is too much oxygen for the cell to process, puts inflammation in the cell. Inflammation retards and obstructs the natural functioning of a cell. Now realize your cell isn't just a blob of stuff. It is more complex with more systems operating in sync than the most advanced thing ever built by mankind, which is the Saturn V rocket and its lunar system, its lunar launcher, and so on. That took 35,000 engineers, 8 years to design, and every cell in your body is more complex than that. And when you start throwing inflammation in there, some of those systems, they just can't operate effectively and efficiently. So that's real bad. It's more powerful than all of your other antioxidants combined. It's the only antioxidant that the way it works, it donates an electron to the free radical that captures, sequesters, neutralizes that free radical. And when that happens, the free radical can't do damage. Now you got a whole spectrum of free radicals, and different antioxidants deal with different ones, but all antioxidants are monofocused. So vitamin C can take out that one, but it leaves all these bad guys. Vitamin E, that one, CoQ10, superoxide dismutase, catalase. Glutathione is called the master antioxidant because it can sequester and neutralize all free radicals regardless of source, structure, or composition. So it is your body's miracle molecule. It is the first line of defense. It's declining as you age. If you're 50 years old, at best, you probably have 30% less glutathione now than you had at the age of 20, but the attack on your cells never stops. What does that mean? It means you age at an accelerated rate, and it means that all the problems that are brought along by inflammation, which once again contributes to almost every major disease we know. So, why don't we all go out and buy glutathione capsules? You can buy them anywhere. The answer is when glutathione, you take it in, when it gets to the gut, your stomach acid breaks it up and it can't be used because your cells won't accept broken molecules, right? So it's all worthless. You just eliminate it. Now, what you can do, you can take glutathione and you can wrap it in a fat. That's called liposomal delivery, okay? You wrap it in a fat, and that does prevent some breakage, not all, because liposomes also can rupture and leak, but it's now made the particle size so big, you can't get it into the pore of your cell. So it just sits there, it doesn't go in, and if one is small enough to go in, guess what happens? You now have brought fat into the cell as well as the glutathione, and fat is hard to get rid of, not good. Now, we have developed a process that takes particles that are that size, and we get them down to the size that's about 1/200,000th as big as a grain of sand. And does that go into the hole? Yes. Now remember, every cell is about 100 nanometers in diameter. To put it in perspective, one strand of your hair is 80,000 nanometers. So the cells are very tiny. And the pores in those cells are 10 nanometers. We can't think of something that small. You know, a grain of sand is about 2 million nanometers, one grain of sand. And yet the pore is only 10 nanometers. Try to get this in here, you can't do it. But we've done a process that allows us to get pretty close to the molecule size, and instead of wrapping it with fat, we have a special process that we rewrap it with ultra pure, reorganized water molecules that don't add the bulk that a fat adds, and they don't put fat in the cells. Do you think your cells want more water? Absolutely. And so we use the water molecules as a Trojan horse, reorganized water, to make matrices or envelopes, and that's how we deliver our product. And does it make a difference? Oh my gosh, we've seen miracles. We've seen things happen with athletic performance. Imagine a guy who sets a world record in the bench press when he's 49 years old, no drugs, he's drug tested every meet. He bench presses 804 pounds, which is about 340 kilos. And after doing that in 2008, his lifting goes down, down, down. His recovery slows down, his lean muscle declines. And at the age of 59 in 2018, he could only lift 720 pounds, 725 pounds. That's a lot for a 59-year-old, but he no longer competes with the elite guys. He gets on our product, and lo and behold, by reducing the oxidative stress, his recovery time shortens again. He's able to lift more often with more weight. And at the age of 60, he bench presses a new world record, 1,050 pounds. At the age of 62, he bench presses a world record of 1,129.5 pounds, or 512 kilos. How can a man at 62 lift 40% more weight than he lifted 13 years earlier when he was in his prime? The answer is oxidative stress. Well, one of our athletes started going crazy over our product. One of them was in an accident, and was hospitalized. She was a cyclist. Her face hit the pavement at 22 miles an hour. And when she got home, she decided to use our supplement that she had used to break her records in the race. She used it, put it on her face. And her face just cleared so fast, the plastic surgeon said she had never seen anything like it. And when I saw it, I had owned cosmetic companies, so I said, holy mackerel, we may have the world's best skincare products. And so we went ahead, I put some in spray bottles, sent them out to a small beta group of women, said spray your face 5 times a day. Here it is, in fact. And here's how hard skincare is now. Watch this. You're done. That's it, morning. And we told ladies, spray your face 5 times a day. It won't cause your makeup to run. And send me your before and afters. Send me your before you started doing it, and then at 4 weeks and 8 weeks. The before and afters were amazing. We truly saw something. In fact, one of my favorite lines is the line, is it better than Botox? You decide. Watch this. So this is Sherry Warner. Sherry was 59 at the time, and she sprayed her face 5 times a day for 7 weeks. Now, when my former formulator saw that, he had become the head formulator for the company that created Botox. When he saw that, he said, Steve, she's had a facelift. No product can do that. No topical product. Botox can't even do that. And I said, John, will we do it? Well, we we used our same HydraStat process to miniaturize other particles like hyaluronic acid, collagen, and other amino acids. We put them into this spray, and look at the results that we got. Now, the reason we show you those is not only because we have the world's best skincare product, but because it works the same way the supplement works. It gets glutathione into the cells. So what you see in the deceleration of aging, as you've just seen with skincare, imagine seeing those same outcomes with your liver, your heart, your brain. In fact, we've seen so many good things. We created a product especially for the brain, a neurological product called Neuro. And you swish that just like you swish our supplement, and holy mackerel. The results of these products are so phenomenal that just through word of mouth, we're now in 72 countries. And as of October of 2024, we'll be in 74 because we're adding Japan and Thailand. Why are we able to do that? Because A, we make a difference, a huge difference. All of these products, you experience the difference because of what we've done with glutathione. And we poured millions of dollars into our research to get there, and now it's available to you. Because we manufacture in-house, we keep our costs down so that our pricing is affordable. In fact, we beat most other products that are on the market for glutathione. We beat them as far as a lower cost, radically lower, but our effectiveness can't be compared. There's more and more glutathione products coming on the market all day. You probably buy them anywhere. You know, soon Costco will probably carry it. But it is not HydraStat. It is not our process, and it is not our formulas, because it's not just the glutathione in our product, it's the formula of the cofactors that we include that help that glutathione with HydraStat to be far more effective once it gets in the cell. So that's what we have. Best thing to do is try it, because you'll see the results. You'll see results with this within a few minutes. Usually you see results like with this very, very quickly. We've had doctors and scientists tell they see a result within 4 or 5 minutes. Sometimes an athlete will take a week. But boy, does it change human performance, recovery from exercise. We've got the numbers. I don't have time to share those numbers with you right now, but we surpass any product on the market.